YouTubers? I am the Weather Dude. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Thank you all for tuning back into this weather presentation for November 27th, 2019. Happy early Thanksgiving in advance to you guys. And today we're going to be talking about two winter storms sweeping across the United States. Winter Storm Dorothy and Winter Storm Ezekiel. We're going to be analyzing the models today. I have made my own little drawing in paint. I just can't forget to pull it up. And those two storms are very powerful, especially Ezekiel. Brought winds of over 100 miles an hour into Oregon, which is very extraordinary for just a regular low pressure system. And I believe it did bomb out. Pressures of 970 millibars. That was really a crazy storm. Dorothy also packed some really strong winds and delays, over 60 mile an hour winds across the Midwest. So we're going to be tracking both of them. Dorothy is pretty much done and over with. We're going to be focusing more on Ezekiel, but we're going to start off by looking at Dorothy and the remaining impacts that it does have. So please consider watching the whole video. And again, I think we've been improving in terms of the trail monetization over the past couple of videos, so thank you guys for that, but let's hope we can keep plowing our way there. Alright, so here is the satellite loop. So here's Dorothy still spinning its way. It's the low centers in northern Michigan, and what spin this has, it's like a bomb cyclone. Just rotating around, and it's actually, the low center at this point is probably making its way through across the lake. On Lake Erie. Yeah, that's it. Lake Erie. And to the southeast of it, a heavy band of rain, which hit me maybe a few hours ago, maybe 5 hours ago, a band of rain came through, so that's probably from those cold cloud tops there. And then there's Ezekiel. Ezekiel's sitting not quite over there. It's sitting more so around here. Very big storm, and it's pulling out so much cold air over relatively warm waters. As a matter of fact, I had never pulled it up. Let's look at let's see. Let's pull up the maps there. There we go. Alright, so when we're looking at terms of the anomalies first, you see relatively a cold air coming down over relatively warmer waters. Okay, Northern California at the coast of Oregon is a little bit cooler, but we do have some warmer waters, and the cold air is coming right over that warmer waters there. And as a result, you're going to see, when the cold air moves over the warm waters, kind of like in the Great Lakes situation, you're going to start to see more. Now, it's not going to be snow, but moisture will be coming off of the eastern Pacific Ocean. Now, even though this ocean temperature may not seem that warm, however, it's, as long as it's above average, okay, you can still generate a lot of precip if the cold air moves over the warmer than average waters. But the tropical Atlantic, we could have another, the wind shear has probably gone up dramatically, but the ocean temperature could definitely support another system. I'm not quite sure about the wind shear. So, with that being said, once you get that, you see these little pockets, these little cells are developing, especially as they get closer to the coast, because that moisture is starting to form. Now, that's Ezekiel itself. Ezekiel is a very strong storm. It's starting to come apart a little bit. It's looking a little bit more sporadic, the activity, the thunderstorm activity, but that's all going to change. And that's because of this little secondary low that's making its way through Mexico and parts of the southwest, and it's heading its way into Texas. Okay, and there's the low. It's kind of wrapped around a little bit. Got some moisture out ahead of it. That low is going to combine with Ezekiel, and that's going to make for one monstrous of a storm. And that's why Ezekiel's going to be such a big storm. So let's break them down here. We don't need these anymore. So all the wind alerts, the airport hubs are just suffering here. From Delaware, New Jersey, all the way back into Wisconsin and Illinois, we have wind advisories and high wind warnings and high wind watches. Wind gusts are 40 to 60 miles an hour. The wind advisory gusts around 35 to 40. The high wind watches and the high wind warnings, they're probably around 50 to 60 mile an hour wind gusts. And we do have winter weather advisories for northeastern South Dakota through central Nebraska, much of Kansas, for the exception of eastern Kansas. So central and western Kansas, winter weather advisory, as well as the Oklahoma and Texas panhandles, also under a winter weather advisory. This is going to be like your freezing rain, wintry mix area. We do have a lot of winter storm warnings just covering the map, especially in the western half of the map. Okay, we got New Mexico, Arizona, Sierra Nevada here, just north of Las Vegas in the mountains, Salt Lake City, I mean, I could go on all night. You guys would probably fall asleep by the time I'm done naming the list here. And the red, is that like a red? Oh, it's blizzard warning, that's right. There is a blizzard warning for northwest or northern Montana as well. So you can see, because of all these winter storm warnings covering such a large amount of space, now there's an exact number, it's about 400,000 square kilometers of land, or 2 million people. Because of that, we do have these two named storms. And there could be some coming in after Ezekiel on the weekend. Okay, as Ezekiel moves its way to the East Coast, which I'm just praying for snow here. Right? You could surely use some snow here in November in the East. Alright, we do have some flash flood watches and some flood watches for southern Arizona. Sadly, there was a flood rescue. I believe the person is okay in Los Angeles. There was a water rescue in a river. But yes, flood watches, flash flood watches, Los Angeles. Not including the Death Valley, but southern Arizona and southwestern corner of New Mexico. So that's all your alerts. Let's take a quick look at Dorothy, in case it's the latest run of the GFS. You can see it's going to move very quick. Right now it's northwest Michigan, or northeast Michigan, excuse me. And then by the time you head in about 2 a.m., around, right? Yeah, 2 a.m. Thursday, it's already going to be off the coast of Maine. So overall, the storm's a pretty fast mover. And not much, there will be some snow on the back side of the storm, like right here and right here, but not too much in the way of snow from Dorothy, at least for the northeast. But it will bring some impacts to northern New England, will probably be the hardest hit spot. Now, according to the GFS, let's see. And you can see they are calling for quite an amount, 6 to 12 inches of snow for central Maine. But again, I do kind of agree. Probably western Pennsylvania, maybe an inch or two. Same thing for the the Catskills and the Adirondacks here, and as well as the Green and White Mountains there in Vermont and New Hampshire. Mount Washington could even pick up a few inches as well. Looking at the NAM models, let's look at the NAM is calling for like 12 to 15 inches of snow for central Maine. Kind of expands that 6 to 10 inch area, and about 2 to 4 for western Pennsylvania. So I basically just took all GFS's snowfall totals and increased it by a couple inches. So the Adirondacks and the Catskills pick up a little bit more snow. Even Binghamton can pick up on an inch. So NAM model, at least the 12 km is making a little bit more bullish. And the NAM 3 km model, pretty identical, maybe even more snow for the Appalachians and eastern West Virginia, at least to Dorothy, the remains of it. Again, 6 to 12 inches there for central Maine, and even a lot more snow for northeastern Pennsylvania and western Massachusetts with the NAM 3 km. So that's Dorothy. Alright, now let's look at the GEM model real quick. Again, northern Michigan, northeastern Michigan entering Canada by 2 a.m. Thursday. GFS and the GEM model, pretty good agreement. The GEM model has it off the coast a little bit more, but I mean, really, if you look at the GEM versus, let me put the GFS back up because they pretty much almost look identical. Let's go to SLP, and when it's off the coast, right there. Like, see how the snow comes to northeastern, or northern New Hampshire and western Maine. It's pretty much identical where the snow and rain line will be, although the GEM model has a little bit off the coast at the same time period. Okay, so almost like a little bit of two low pressures, but kind of coming together as one big low pressure. But really, it's just Dorothy moving out. I'm probably complicating this too much. And a mixed bag of rain and snow there for western Pennsylvania and parts of Ohio. But once the storm gets off the coast even more, it starts to re-strengthen, and it will pull down some colder air, so we will see a changeover to snow, especially during the day on Thursday. So Thanksgiving Day, hopefully everybody settled down, at Thanksgiving. GEM model, I don't believe will be as bullish as any of these models here, and it looks like they're not. Again, the only sweet spot is going to be central Maine, right in the middle here, about 6 to 12 inches of snow, based off me looking off all these models and combined with my prediction. And the certainty at this point, it's only out about a day or so, so we're pretty certain about this. And again, I'm also pretty certain about around Cleveland, maybe just south of Cleveland, just southeast of Erie, talk about like near Punxsutawney, if not just west, about inch or two, maybe even 3 inches for the western Pennsylvania area there. Then we shift to the west and talk about Ezekiel. And now that we have talked about Dorothy at the very least, okay, let's pull up this map that I made from Dorothy and Ezekiel. So here's Dorothy. Again, we did have some snow in Minneapolis here today, even though I just made this map about half hour ago. So wintry mix here. Not Milwaukee's probably rain, so just ignore that, but that Milwaukee is rain. Northern Iowa, some wintry mix here. Northern New England, some wintry mix. Even Cleveland. But rain to snow in that lighter pink for central Pennsylvania and northeastern Ohio, the Catskills, even down towards ground level. But I-95 back west towards Chicago, it's pretty much going to be all rain from whatever's left of Dorothy. Brief showers, but I think it's pretty much all wrapping up. Now, it is blocked off by the camera, and usually when I have paint open, I take my face off, but only missing one word, so. The light green is rain and mountain snow, and the blue is just, like, regular snow. So basically, if you're in the light green area, you can still have snow. It means rain and mountain snow. But if you're in that blue shade, that means you have snow even at the surface, which is what that blue means. Because Denver, Salt Lake City, even at the surface here, we could even... Because snow levels are going to get down to about 1,000 feet, if not lower. Okay, so here comes Ezekiel, okay, and you're going to see this in the models, what I'm about to show you. Ezekiel dives through the four corners. Now, will this be exactly where they meet? I think they might meet a little bit south of here, maybe right here, but you get the idea. Ezekiel's going to come through. We have a secondary low. Stupid iCloud app. I hate when it pops up. I got to get rid of it. Yeah, goodbye. All right, so we got a secondary low coming in from Mexico, as I showed you on the satellite loop. Matter of fact, let's get a recap on that in case you do not remember. Where is it? Right here. So you can see this piece of energy right here. That is that secondary low that I'm talking about. Right there. That's going to be coming out. And I don't know if it's really a low pressure system, but I do see a spin. So I do think it is a piece of energy. At the very least, that's going to come up from the south. Ezekiel from the west. And they're going to combine and make a more powerful Ezekiel. Even though it's pretty much Ezekiel in the first place. But a more powerful Ezekiel. And it will be pushing through maybe even some rain, snow, sleet, all that good stuff for the north central plains. We are still collecting data on Ezekiel, but it will be moving through late week and producing some horrible winter impacts. Alright, now let's look through the models here. Here's a GFS model. And again, because that low pressure is here, we got the cold air on the back side, at least the cold wind, moving over that relatively warm water. That's why all this precipitation is on the back side. This usually happens with a lot of powerful west coast storms. You will see there's so much rain hanging over the ocean on the backside, and that's why. Almost like lake effect snow, except it's rain. So, south central New Mexico, we will start to see sorry, the camera's shaking. So south central New Mexico and maybe even western Texas, but south central New Mexico, about a couple hours from now, you will start to see some rain, snow, sleet fill in. But really, it's going to be over the next 6 to 12 hours here, or even the next 18 hours, that we're going to start to see some snow filling in. Here's 2 a.m. Thursday morning, and you can see it's spreading into the snow spreading in northern New Mexico and northern panhandle of Texas. Ezekiel is still roaming around here. It's pretty slow moving, but they will eventually meet up. And some really heavy rainfall here, according to the GFS model for the entering southeastern Arizona. But Ezekiel's going to continue to move up. And here comes Ezekiel. That secondary low is trying to pull away. It's like, don't touch me. Okay, and Ezekiel's just like, nah, I'm still coming. And it's going to start finally make its dive south as the secondary low starts to pull away. The precipitation that initially, because remember, these two haven't come together yet. So the precipitation that initially comes into Nebraska and Kansas will not be quite as strong. You can see it's generally light precipitation, some snow, and some freezing rain. But once Ezekiel finally chases down that secondary low, that Ezekiel powerhouse, it's so much faster, they are eventually going to catch up with each other, and there you go. Here we start to see really come together. Here it is on Friday. That secondary low is trying to run away, but it really just can't escape Ezekiel's wrath, and starting to come together. Some really dark blues starting to form here. Even some rain forming out ahead of it. So it will initially be some rain across the central and southern plains. Some very light showers, and there we go. So the Dakotas could even really be in some rain, unless we get a backside. So really a lot of rain. It's going to be more of a mountainous event. But it will eventually change to some snow on the backside. Okay, as we head into Sunday, it's going to start moving into the northeast anyway. So Ezekiel actually not looking like too much for the central plains as I thought it would. And then here comes that storm over there on the left side of your screen that I was talking about after Ezekiel. So for the west, we're going to be seeing well over 48 inches, which is 4 feet. So around 4 feet of snow. For us here in Nevada, no shock there this time of year, but skiers are going to love it. Salt Lake City, probably about 10 inches. Depends on your elevation. Denver seems to be escaping this one, at least according to the GFS for now. Panhandle of Texas, Kansas, Nebraska, all these areas. Okay, so anywhere, I'm going to outline this area. This area, your snow is going to be just from the secondary low. Once these two combine, it's pretty much going to be rain for all this part here, and it's pretty much going to melt all the snow away, at least according to the latest run of the GFS model. And snow over the next 10 days? No, 294 hours. So that's through December 10th, so probably about a couple weeks, and not much more snow. But I will tell you, my goodness, 88 inches of snow. 100, is that 100? Hold on. Oh my gosh, yeah, that's 134 inches of snow for the Northern Sierra Nevada here over the next, say, couple weeks, maybe over the next, 12 days or so. So that is absolutely 134 inches. I don't know if you remember when I did my channel a long time ago. And I'm going to see if I can find the video real quick. And I can relate because this is a similar situation. And this wasn't really the snowfall accumulation map. This was more so, let's just play the video. Even though I shut the sound off. But this is back when my face wasn't even on the screen. So you can see for Maine right there, we had 113 inches of snow. And that wasn't the total snowfall map. That was a cumulative positive snow depth change. Meaning, if you have 5 inches on the ground, and we're getting 9 inches of snow, a 4-inch snow depth change. This wasn't like the snowfall accumulation map necessarily, but still saying how much is the snowfall going to change by what it was before. And absolutely just ridiculous. I mean, this was back in January 12th, so this was a long time ago. And this actually got a lot more views than I thought it would. I mean, 45 views was a lot back in my day. Back when I was first starting. What's wrong with the GFS? Yeah. But guess what? GFS is one of those models. 113 inches of snow. Guess what? The next model run was like 6. On that same kind of map, just the next model run, and it was literally down to 6 inches. Went from 113 to 6. So GFS, that's why I just can't trust the GFS sometimes. Alright, now we're going to look at the GFS again, except we're going to look at Ezekiel as it moves through the north central as opposed to the west. So again, as that secondary low, okay, very weak. You can see 10, 11. We'll produce some light snow and wintry mix in the southern Nebraska, northern Kansas. And by the way, if you want to happen to watch that video that I just showed you, just type in 113 inches of snow for Maine, question mark, should be the first video. Because that's how it popped up for me. But it was just really weird. Anyway, so secondary low pulls away. Okay, really starts to fizzle out, and the snow changes to more of a freezing rain, wintry mix. And then it fizzles out completely. Whatever's left of that secondary low, or the attachment of the secondary low, that's not the low pressure up there. The low pressure is still down here. Just precipitation from it is just going to lift up from the south to the north. And now, there we go. There's a secondary low combining with Ezekiel. And all heck's going to break loose here. And snowfall, a lot of snowfall, in fact, on the western part of Nebraska, that's around, say, North Platte, the Panhandle there. But the Black Hills of western South Dakota, okay, really a spot that just gets hit hard with snow all the time. Even if it's, like, warm outside, because they're obviously mountainous, even though they're in South Dakota. And then Ezekiel's going to continue to plow through, kind of like Dorothy, taking a similar path to Dorothy, except maybe bringing snow a little bit farther to the south, ending by the first day or second day of December. Okay, I meant to click on total snowfall, not 24-hour snowfall. There we go. So, total snowfall here. Again, the Black Hills, western South Dakota, you guys have the best chance to pick up a couple feet. North Dakota might even pick up around 6 to 12 plus. Same thing with Marquette, the UP, Michigan. And we can even towards the Duluth, we could even International Falls, maybe even 10 to 20 inches of snow. So a lot of snow to deal with here. We're going to look at the gem model real quick, and kind of saying the same thing, except there's the secondary low. Excuse me, there's Ezekiel over there. Secondary low looks pretty strong. Okay, that piece of moisture. Okay, the low is still sitting behind, but the moisture is going to run away. Then the two combine, and the gem model is bringing the snowfall a lot farther to the south. Alright, so through Minneapolis, through the Dakotas, through northern Nebraska, we're going to see a lot more snow, even towards Iowa. gonna see a lot of snow. So if you want a lot of snow, root for the gem model, at least for now. So we're gonna look at the north central loop right after this one. But wow, 10 to 20 inches of snow there for Minneapolis. Actually, Minneapolis is near 20. But again, Minneapolis, St. Paul, talk about eastern South Dakota. So really a lot of snow, but not calling for quite as much in the Sierra Nevada. Kind of. Let's see. Let's go through 10 days. Let's see if we see 100. No, we're close. I see over 70. I see 65. So probably over 70 inches there for the Sierra Nevada. Not quite as much as 134. That's a new record. Because like I said, last time I saw that kind of number on the snowfall map was back in January 12th with the GFS model on 113 inches in Maine. So that was really weird. But again, regardless, if you want to kind of to go up a few thousand feet in elevation to see these kind of totals, but there will be some snowflakes flying down as low as 1,000 feet. And matter of fact, the panhandle of Texas could even see 3 to 7 inches of snow, if not a little bit more. All right, same model run. We're just going to take it to the north central United States now. So again, there's that little piece, and then the two combine, and wow, look at all that snow. And the lows will take a lot more of a southern track, so you can see a little bit of wind mix developing on ahead of it. I was really getting excited when I saw it because I thought we were actually going to get snow. And then the snow makes its way through Iowa first day of December. It plows through the Midwest. By the second day of December, Monday, when you wake up, it should be limited to Indiana, Ohio, but much of the north central will be fine, especially Monday afternoon, and into Tuesday morning, everything is gone. So, total snowfall here. Again, just astounding totals. The South Dakota-Minnesota border, probably going to be one of the jackpot spots here, 20 inches. The Black Hills, they don't really put the Black Hills in any kind of, isolated, special, higher snowfall total than they usually do. But the real hot spot is going to be the UP of Michigan as always, but taking second place, at least according to this model right now, is the South Dakota and Minnesota border. But again, Minneapolis. Okay, so when it was zoomed out, it looked like it said 19. So Minneapolis, you can actually see about 15 to 17 inches, but still a lot. Don't get me wrong. I'd kill it. Well, I wouldn't kill it, but I would love to have that kind of snow. Absolutely love it. All right, but it's coming, right? So European model. Now, I couldn't just find Western United States like you did on Tropical Tidbits, so kind of have to zoom into the Southwest. I have no choice. You can see as the snow moves through, then when Ezekiel comes through and they start to combine, when you see those magentas, like, you better just start running there. Yeah, it's a really, really, talk about several inches of snow per hour kind of snowfall. Moving through Arizona, and then, well, that's the low that comes after that. We can't factor that in. So over the next 78 hours, this is the European model now. I'm so glad got the European model here on Pivotal Weather. We look at the snowfall through 78 hours. We're talking about, again, when I saw those magentas on the MSLP, you're going to see 30 inches of snow here. Got 30 inches of snow here. Sierra Nevada could even pick up, over a foot, maybe 2 feet. Probably 3 if you go up high enough. But, again, Salt Lake City, about a foot. Denver could even see a few inches. So, that's the European model for the South. Ooh, sorry. That's the European model for the Southwest. All right. Here is, let me zoom out a little bit, actually. So, here's the European model for the North Central. And you can see, starting out initially, now, this doesn't provide ice maps, so, like, ice accumulation, so, but the GFS model does. But you can see, look at this storm really just wraps around as we head into Sunday. And by Monday morning, actually, a lot of it should be gone. So, European model here, latest 12Z run, looking like we're going to see a lot of snow. Okay, you can see Dorothy's snow over here. That's from Dorothy. Now, waiting for Ezekiel to come up. All right, and, whoops, sorry about that. There we go. All right, Ezekiel here, bringing 12 to 18 inches of snow for the Dakotas, eastern North Dakota down through northern central South Dakota. Black Hills, western South Dakota, over a foot. You can't really see it, but 20 to 23, I can't even see it myself, but I can tell 20 to 25 inches of snow for International Falls in Duluth. So really a lot of snowfall to contend with here. Yeah, a little early to tell yet, but now lastly, here's another Canadian model, GDPS. I'm pretty sure this is pretty much the same thing as the GEM model. It looks the same. Snowfall pushes through. Let's have a quick look at the North Central. Snowfall coming in through Saturday. Pretty much all day, late Friday night into all day Saturday. Pretty much all day Sunday, especially in the morning. places like Minnesota and Wisconsin pretty much all day Saturday, all day Sunday. And then it makes its way on out of here. Let's look at the snowfall totals here for the North Central. And it does provide an ice map, so I will be showing you that too. As we wrap this video up. And there you go. Look at that. 12 to 24 inches of snow. Actually, 12 to 20, around 12 to 22. Is going to be found from eastern South Dakota all the way through to UP of Michigan and International Falls. So as we look at the, oh yeah, this is the thank you map. That's right. That didn't want to. So let's look at the ice map real quick. Now this isn't slate. This measures freezing rain, ice coverage on the ground, and there you go. A lot of ice. Now you don't see ice up here because it's pretty much going to be snow. You see ice in the southern areas where you can pick up nearly ½ inch of ice for northwestern Iowa, 0.1 to 0.2 inches of ice for much of the central part of Nebraska. So that's it for today's video. Thank you guys for watching for this video, November 27, 2019. Again, please consider subscribing and ringing the bell notifications. If you share this with your friends, tell them to watch the whole video. And we are on that road to monetization. Thank you guys. I'm the Weather Dude, signing off. Till next time. I'll catch you guys next video.